What is that we can expect now for Battle for the Sun? Because I saw Battle for the Sun, and already I'm a fan of that song.
Well, thank you. You know, it's I don't think we make conscious decisions with every record how it's going to sound. You know, I think if you listen to all 6 records, you can draw like a red thread through them all. You know, I mean, essentially we're a guitar band. You know, and so I just got distracted by
by madness, our house.
Whoops. But yeah, certainly, you know, it does feel like well, it's kind of the beginning of Placebo Mark III, and you know, Steve is the same age as I was when I made the first Placebo record. So this, I guess, is a bit of a, you know, new beginning coming through, and that kind of sort of fresh energy, and also, you know, it's very hard to fall out of love with the sound of an electrical guitar. You know,
one thing that I really need to ask you is, because you kind of reacted to the madness. Were you also like a fan in the 80s? Is that the stuff that you were listening in the 80s?
It's impossible to kind of escape that music when you're kind of growing up in the 80s. You know, we are kids of the 80s, you know, and it's just no escaping it. But I think a lot of people say the 80s were all really shit, you know, but there's actually some really good stuff that came out of the 80s. You know, the independent labels, you know, the kind of post-punk bands like Sonic Youth and, you know, and Pixies and Depeche Mode, and so yeah, it's part of our youth, and it's a good heritage to have. And we keep on making covers of 80s songs. You know, we're putting one out as a B-side to the first single, which is a Nick Kershaw track. Wouldn't it be good, you know? So we're kind of keeping on that tradition of you know, still showing that we are quite heavily influenced by the 80s.
Well, so finally, as the last question, as you just mentioned, like, you know, it was the 80s was the beginning of the independent labels. You also like switched now from a major label to an independent label. Do you feel like threatened by what's going on right now in the music market? As a lot of people believe that the music market will not be the same like in the next 5 years. Do you think that there's still going to be space for Placebo?
I think, you know, the way that musicians work and you know, write music is not really changing. It's just sort of the way that's being distributed and how people consume it is changing, you know. But it's been like that since, you know, the 40s and 50s. If you look at it, the sheet music was the way that people consume music. They bought it and played on the piano, and then vinyl came and sheet music kind of disappeared. So then vinyl was king for a while. CD came, vinyl disappeared, you know, and then sort of internet came out. So it's ones and zeros replaced CD, you know. So we're kind of in that era. But you know, I think just look at this festival. This is, you know, thousands of people that want to come and see music, you know. And I guess this is where music's going to be kept alive.